Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin, and this is a weather report. We do keep additional graphics at tpatw.com. We also maintain a storefront on Amazon. Surface map for Sunday, the 12th. Will be quite interesting with high pressure finally dominating much of the northern two-thirds of the country, but there is a frontal system still hanging from Albuquerque almost to Oklahoma City back up to Nashville and across to Wilmington, North Carolina. Notice a swath of moisture all the way from Arizona across New Mexico, Texas, and all the way to the southeast, all of those states including bubbling up into the Tennessee and lower Ohio Valley. Looking at the vitality index, which is a measure of the individual elements that will be impacting human health, and you can see that we're covering much of the southern half of the country, all the way up the plains and Mississippi Valley. And note, we do have some very new, interesting activity going on in eastern California and Nevada, the upper portions of the Four Corners, and I bode that is, of course, a sign that the monsoon rains are finally moving in there. And then we have a lot of instability and unsettled weather down here in the Gulf, especially around Florida. Looking at pressure change, we have a touch of rising pressure across extreme southern Illinois, but we have a more significant rising pressure running from eastern North Carolina up into eastern Pennsylvania, across New Jersey, Delaware, and up through Connecticut and Massachusetts. Temperature change, again, a little bit interest, but this is July, the heart of the summer, and it's supposed to be hot in July. And yes, there can be some really difficult temperatures, especially in the southeast, but for this weekend, we'll be building some extreme heat up in the northern plains and up into the Intermountain West. Another interesting aspect is you'll see we have some lowering temperatures, and that's not really significant back to more normal levels, and that's almost all with that frontal system stretching all the way from Arizona up in through Georgia. The dew point temperature change is a little bit more interesting. As you can see, we have surging dew point temperatures all the way from extreme western Texas up and through the Four Corners, making its way all the way into eastern California and Nevada. That, of course, is a sign of the monsoon rain starting to come. We have a little bit of drying out here in the middle Atlantic states. Vapor pressure, as I said, just confirms it, and then we'll note that we have some increasing vapor pressure up here at the northern lakes. Instability is a different story, and you'll note that this is much less instability across much of the plains and the lower and middle Mississippi Valley, but there's still some instability there. You'll see we are building instability up into the Four Corners, and what's very interesting is you can see that we're getting very warm here in the Gulf, southern Florida, and Cuba, and that is a sign of increasing instability there. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, you'll see that we have some migraine stresses here in eastern California and westernmost Nevada, trying to push up on into Idaho and Washington. But the real migraine risk is here in Arizona, cutting down into southern and eastern New Mexico, picking up the Texas Panhandle, running across extreme northern Texas, and then down across all of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, northern Florida, and then pushing on up into the Tennessee and Kentucky area, and then along the coast from, again, eastern North Carolina, Maryland, especially into south and rather New Jersey, and across into Connecticut and Massachusetts. Very little asthma and arthritis risk, although there is some here in extreme northern Oklahoma, northern Arkansas, and then up across northern Wisconsin and the Michigan Upper Peninsula. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. Your comments are appreciated. Stay cool.